Hey, welcome to another episode of Deliberate Wactus Reviews that we're doing here. This is Kurai. I'm going to be going over some video of Stug and Fezzik from out in the East Coast in Crystal Groves, doing some single sword sparring. Now, it's a long video. We're not going to do the whole thing. We're going to watch little bits here and there and just kind of see what is going on with the performance, like what these guys are doing, and how they adjust to each other. So let's see kind of what we can find. I haven't watched this through before. This will be interesting to kind of see what they're doing. I have fought them both previously, at least once, so this should be a good time. They're both really good fighters. And yeah, let's just hop right into it. So we've got Fezzik on the left in the red and the black, with no quarter, and we've got Stug on the right. So right off the bat, you've got a nice little testing shot from Stug to bind Fezzik up as he closes, and then just gets a little bit outranged here. Oh, no, not the volume. Here we go. Yep. And Stug's a good sport. Okay, where are we at here? Oh yeah, right up on the high arm, close to shoulder, and just a good bit of range control from Fezzik there, knowing that he's got the reach. So let's see what they do. Ooh, aggressive close, and I like that too because he takes kind of like a step where he looks like he's coming towards Stug's offside and throws that nice hard diagonal chop towards his shoulder. And another one there to that shoulder or the inside chest. Yeah, Fezzik's fast, hits hard, and has really solid fundamentals. Good press from Stug. Way to keep the tension on and the aggression up. Yep, gets forced to go low and then gets caught. Just good fake into a circle stab. So one of the things that I like that they seem to be doing here is, while they are coming in aggressive and they're winning a lot of time off of the first exchange, like there where they're trading shots and blocks, they're staying engaged and they're not just staying static and hammering it out. They are moving. And they're thinking through these exchanges, at least as far as, I'm going to throw this shot, which should hopefully be a safe shot, into some other fake or follow-up. Where they're running into trouble, of course, is if their setup doesn't work the first time, they're a little stuck, it feels like. Stug's really got Fezzik dedicated to that sword side lead, and especially with, there you go, nice. Okay, so that's one of the cool things here I want to highlight. Okay, so we're watching as Fezzik kind of keeps throwing these crosses and reverse wraps, over to Stug's opposite side, and he does about 3 in a row there. Now, something that where'd my little tool go? Stop it. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Okay, so something that we can kind of see as we're going through here is Fezzik's foot a lot of the time is facing off away past Stug. Stug is coming in from over here, right, moving this way, but Fezzik's feet are already pointed to where Stug is gonna be, but is, you know, not quite there. So what we have happen here is this really beautiful. Let's slow this down here too. It's really gorgeous. Feint. Stug does a gathering step, fakes the backhand, and you see how hard Fezzik has bit on it here. There's really not a whole lot he can do unless Stug were to like severely mess up his approach, which he's not going to. Throws a nice rising chop almost, and gets that in there. That was really, really good. Solid setup and a way to exploit that footwork, especially with Fezzik going so hard for that outside sword side. Yep, and there you're talking about, like, you set that up and you stepped with it really well. Okay, Fezzik gets caught reaching again. I want to see if he's going to adjust his game plan. I can see him thinking. Stug's got his tempo going. Some nice steady approaches. The only thing I'd say is Stug has kind of this standard like back and forth tempo as he's shifting his weight. Okay. So it looks like the adjustment here may be that Fezzik is going to start trying to interrupt his timing. Play a little bit more long range or mid range where he starts swinging to punish as Stug is approaching, rather than trying to play the block strike game that Tato teaches up there. Good movement from them both. Oop. And going low. Okay, so we've watched a few minutes here. Let's skip ahead a little bit and kind of see what they're doing at about the... let's go to the 12-minute mark. It's been about 7 minutes, so there should be a lot of fights and a lot of adaptation that has been, you know, achieved at this point. Okay, Fezzik taking a largely kind of stable guard, but not closing too hard. Ranging Stug out, keeping the guard low. There you go. Okay, gets hipped. That's kind of that's the thing with that high bait guard, is if your hand's not fast enough to get down there, or somebody gets underneath your hand in the right way, you may not get there in time. I like that, those testing little stutters without overextending, little circle feints. And this is a much more patient game now that they're doing. Early on, they have all that energy, they have all that explosive power, and now, you know, it's been 12 minutes of fighting, kind of nonstop. Oh, missed. We're recording. All right, I didn't see what happened that last one. We'll just keep going. Okay, a lot of patience here. They're both kind of square, both going for that reverse wrap. Fezzik happening to get the hand in the right way, in the right area, push the sword down and get the offside chop as well. Lost the leg, but picked up 2 arms for it. What was the step on that? So a lot of extension on the arm. Looks like he may have stepped a little bit inside of Stug's lead foot, like inside of that stance, and then thrown that kind of circular motion almost. There is something very satisfying about just watching people just fight, casually. Obviously, they're both trying to win. They're both giving forth good effort, but these guys know each other, and I would kind of assume that they're, if not friends, at least friendly, and, are getting a lot out of this interaction. Okay, so kind of what I'm seeing is they both are... Stug, because he has to cover so much ground, is throwing from really far away a lot of the time. And he's... There you go. That's really good maintenance of your range. I would hope to see maybe like a slight offside step in the middle there. Nice trade from block right into the rollover into the shoulder. Okay, we're going to skip ahead a little bit more. Going to go for another 10 minutes or so. Okay. And let's see, because they've been at this for a while now. There should be some particular context going on. Nice test to the forearm. Ooh, okay. Now, see, that was really good. So you may not have seen it. We're going to slow this down a little bit. So Stug throws that first shot, right? That first test earlier. Right there. Okay. Fezzik very calmly blocked it, and Stug actually threw it from a range where he probably wasn't going to hit anyways, because he's closing from out of range, right? So there's all this range right here. And he's even, you notice his motion is going backwards as he throws the shot. So the idea there is that it kind of informs Fezzik that that's a good block. As they're both pulling away its maximum range, any block is a good one if you're far enough away. Here, though, Stug anticipates that Fezzik is going to try and counter the shot. And so Stug throws that circle a little bit tighter. And instead of extending out into where the first shot would have landed, somewhere around here, he pulls it back to him. Oop. And clips across Fezzik's arm right over here. There's a big difference here. So he does a really good job of using a previously what seems like a failed attack to set up a successful one immediately afterwards. And apparently hits my head on the cross, but that's fine. But yeah, like that's a really good setup there, and we're not for a little bit of a wayward headshot. That was over right there. Fezzik closes it out with the hip shot. So unfortunate, but what Stug did there, the way that he set that fight up and controlled the beginning of it, phenomenal. That's what you really want to see out of people, is the way that they manufacture fights and control it. Stug is really good about throwing those first testing shots, backing off slightly, and then using similar motions to create openings. There you go. And Fezzik is picking up on that a little bit, and in some cases is not dedicating to the block. He's just going to start attacking, not even necessarily the arm for the arm block, for the stop hit, but just attacking Stug's center of mass. Yeah, so overall, I like this pretty well. I'm not going to watch much more at this point. I'll probably watch the rest myself. I think the main things that I see that they're both doing really well, Stug is doing phenomenally with the way that he sets up those initial interactions by starting with a testing shot that might fail very slightly and quickly backing out and then throwing again with a different range or different focus. As well as maintaining his range for the most part and not collapsing his guard too hard. Fezzik is doing a really good job of understanding what it is that his opponent is wanting during those setups and starting to adapt by attacking where the arm is going to be, understanding very quickly where the pattern is, and then also at times just pressing Stug when Stug is out of position, which is great because he does have the superior range and reach. Stug's only, I think he said he's like 5'5", something like that. So he's a little bit shorter, has shorter arms, and is going to lose a little bit on the range differential. What I'd love to see from both of them more is a little less reliance on attacking the sword arm specifically on the outside, but just the sword arm in general. If they could integrate more inside forearm attacks and feint those into back body, or use a variety of feints to cover their footwork closed in and start to open up those options, I think they both take each other off guard quite a bit and expand their game. So, and additionally, as they're closing or as they're being closed on, it would be wonderful to see them start to integrate more lateral steps as they pull away or as they are pressed on, or as they're closing. If Stug is pulling away, then he sees Fezzik has his weight going hard to the right, maybe he can focus on stepping left and vice versa. So yeah, main takeaways for that would be they both have a couple of skills that they're really good at, in particular controlling the fight for Stug and using what seems to be failed setups to get a victory on the next one by repeating it but altering it slightly. And then Fezzik reading his opponent's options and very quickly understanding and adapting to their choices. So I hope that has been somewhat helpful. I know this is kind of different, or maybe a little shorter than what I've usually done, but we've been away for a minute. We're going to be getting back into the swing of things here shortly, so stay tuned for more reviews on Deliberate Wactus. This is Kurai. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye.